Hey guys, a lot of people ask me questions about what goes into making a video. They don't really ask me like that, but they ask me advice on how to make their videos. So I'm gonna put out this video as sort of a tutorial on how I do my idea videos. I'm also gonna be covering what some people should be doing in Let's Plays instead of what they're already doing. So first of all, let's start with this. This is where all of my videos get started. Even my Let's Play videos. This blank notepad is the most important tool that I use to organize my thoughts and storyboard out the entire thing. And I use Notepad also when I'm doing Let's Plays, you know, on a separate monitor or something, so that I can put my to-do list. I'll always have something to be doing next. I'll always have my to-do list off to the side, so I wouldn't get distracted and work on something else boringly for a long time. So, in my opinion, Notepad is an absolutely vital piece of equipment to have in every single video. And for idea videos, I use Notepad essentially to write out my script and figure out what my scenes are going to be, so that once I have all my words written out, I can put down the seeds, or the scenes, and I can see what it's going to look like all together, and I can, you know, move it around as I need to. So today, I'm going to be doing that with an example of how to build a dirt house. So luckily, I've already got the script, the words set up for that. There we go. Whoa, no, this is this video's script, I guess. And then here we go. Now, so we've got all of our scenes. We've got all of our words of what I'm going to say set up here. We've got our whatever at our walls, at our roof, blah 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 blah. But this isn't the scenes, so once I've got sort of what I want to say set up, and you know, I don't normally have to stick to this 100%, but this is sort of what I'm going to be saying. So first we'll do, you know, opening shot, and then building the walls, and then building the roof, and then lastly we need a shot of the finished product. So we're looking at a video, essentially 4 sentences and 4 different shots. And I've been doing this for a long time now, but this is, this program right here is what I'm recording with right now, by the way. So some of my videos, especially the Yellowtown video, have hundreds of shots. So this is, I'm just trying to keep this one simple for tutorial purposes. Then once you get some practice, you can make this more complicated. So let's go ahead and open up Minecraft and start filming. This program right here, Minecraft Profile Manager, is really nice. It pretty much lets you save different sets of mods, texture packs, levels, save servers, etc. into different profiles, so that you don't have to be constantly going into the .minecraft folder and doing this yourself. So 1.3.2 came out today. We're just going to go ahead and do 1.3.1 that I've made and not update, because I still need to be able to log onto the server, and I have not made a backup for 1.3.1 yet. So, go ahead and give this a moment, and go ahead and log into the Beef Press world, where I've already got everything set up here. So, you may notice frame rate being a little bit choppy. That's because I'm going to be recording Fraps with the screen recorder behind it. So there may be some choppiness, but I just want you guys to get the gist of what's going on here. So let's bring up our notepad here so we can see, and move this off to the side. Make sure we can see all of our text. And now figure out what we want to do. Let's clear this area open a little bit. And okay, so this is going to be our introduction point. Now before I go any further, I want to mention something. Normally when I do idea videos, I don't do the commentary while I'm playing. I add the commentary track afterwards, once I've got the video pretty much ready to go. But a lot of people ask me how to record your voice and the game audio into Fraps. So, to answer that question, such a common question, to answer that question, you don't want to do that. It is vitally important for you to record your voice on a different track as the video game audio. Personally, I record my audio straight to Vegas and then bring it to Audacity separately. And the reason I do that is because the audio, when I record straight to Vegas, my voice sounds better than when I record straight to Audacity. And I still don't know why. It's probably a setting in Audacity that I need to change somewhere. So we've got this blank project here. This is fine. Let's go ahead and start recording the audio here. That's fine. Okay, so you can see me talking. The audio is recording, so we'll minimize this now. And this yellow number, if you have Fraps, you know that that's your frame rate prior to recording. And just to make sure I have my audio and my video synchronized, I always do a countdown. So I line up the video with the audio correctly. So we'll start with 3, 2, 1 here. So now we've got our audio and our video synced up. And the reason I full screen this actually is because it turns out I could not record Fraps and my screen recorder at the same time. So this is that actual raw footage and then this little sound clip that I have on top of it explaining what's going on. But normally I would still have this in windowed mode and I'd still have Notepad off to the side with all of our scenes. So speaking of which, let's get right into our scenes. So our first step is to find an open plot of land and to say our first line. So we'll jump back up here and we'll say, first, find an open plot of land. And there we go. That's all I'm going to be using. And now we're going to jump down here and say, secondly, you want to build all of your walls out of dirt. And if you notice, I'm not following the script exactly. I don't like to keep it... I like to keep it sounding more natural than that. And now we're going to be jumping up and do the roof, and we're going to be filming the third shot here. So let's stand back for a second, make sure it's... Can I get up there from here? No, I cannot. Alright, I'll just throw it on a piece of dirt. And then, okay, so we get our wood ready, and we say, step 3, to add a little bit of life to it, let's make the roof out of wood. And then that's all we're going to be doing. Remember, it doesn't matter what we say in between our little takes here, or what we do, because we're not going to be filming this part. And step back over here, find a good spot to hit F1. And this is really just preference. I don't know how else to describe this portion right here, other than trying to figure out a good angle to show this thing. It's kind of hard to make a dirt house look good, so maybe I can put it around. What? Maybe right here? I think. Yeah, right here. And then we say, and there you have it, a finished dirt house. And then that's really all it takes. We have our 4 different scenes set up, so let's take this out of windowed mode. Hoping it doesn't crash. There we go. So now it's time to close Minecraft and open up our video editing program. So we've already got Vegas running with our audio here. Let's see what this is what our track looks like right now. So first of all, I'm going to give this a few seconds of silence here at the end of the track. Actually, we have silence somewhere there. Let's just end it right here. So the first thing is first we want to open this up in Audacity and open an audio editor. And actually, I feel like I should tell you guys, I'm going to be using a different audio track than what you're seeing right now in this tutorial video, because I have some horrible background noise here.
So you can see me talking, the audio is recording, so it won't...
There you go, I turned it on for a second. That's what the original audio sounded like. See, it sounds like I'm in a tunnel. That's why I'm re-recording the audio for this, which is something that I actually end up doing a lot. It's easier for me to record where my computer is while I'm playing, and then go back and re-record the audio where I'm in a position where I have a more soundproof environment. And that's a temporary thing for me right now, but it's a step that I have to take because I don't have a perfect situation, and it's extra work that you might have to put into it yourself if, you know, you're forced to record somewhere where there's background noise, or to play somewhere where there's background noise. You don't necessarily have to record the audio there. You can record the audio later anywhere else you want. So the reason I hit play is you could hear that little noise right there. And what we're doing is we're removing that background noise. So we're going to say select get noise profile, and now we can select the entire track, and based on that noise profile we can remove noise from the entire track. And normally I test to see that it sounds good, but this audio already sounds like crap, so like I said, we're not using it. I'm just using this as an example. So let's go ahead and let this finish up, and then we'll be able to zoom in on a silent portion. And now you can see it's not even registering any sound there. whatever that was weird.
The...
You can hear my voice still sounds like crap, but it doesn't have background noise on it anymore. So now we'll go ahead and export this as an MP3. I know that doesn't exist anymore. Good job. And let's tutorial dirt house, and we'll save this as audio 1. Okay, so we're done with Audacity. Let's go ahead and close this here. We can even delete this track because this is the track with all the background noise. And we'll get rid of view, track 147. And now we're going to be importing our files, so I'll do that off camera real quick. So all I did was select our Fraps file and the audio file that we just exported. So what we'll do first is we'll throw down the audio track and we'll find where I counted down at. You can see on here, here it is. I believe this is the countdown right here. 3, 2, 1, here. Stop right there, and then bring in the video track right where I said now. And you can see, you can hear my voice when I'm talking back there. And our video synced up. Talking over the track. Oh, moved it a little bit. Undo. And we'll see where my punches are to see where I synchronized. Punch. This is actually footage I ended up not using. I cleverly cut it out, but I'm still using it for synchronization purposes to make sure my voice is right. It is a little bit off though, so let's move it right up here, and let's try that again. Punch. There we go. It's a little bit better synchronized now. Close enough anyway. No one's going to have any issue with it. Now, what we want to do is find the scenes that we recorded. So let's hunt this down. So you can see that's another part of Fraps that I cut out right there where I accidentally built it out of wood instead of dirt. But let's find... Oh, there we go. Okay, now I'm building it out of dirt. So this is going to be where I build the walls out of dirt. So somewhere back here I have overlooking the area. I think it's right here, right around here somewhere. There it is, overlooking. And then skip ahead some more. And then right up here we have the roof. And then right back here, should see where I hit F1. And we have the outro. So the next portion of the process is to find exactly what we want our scenes to be and then cut them out of all this raw footage. So there we go, our scene is right about here. So we'll cut and then delete everything that we don't need anymore. Same thing over to the dirt wall portion. Find out where I have built all the dirt walls at. Let me check this. Okay, so it's about right. Make sure we get this timing correctly. Yeah, right about there. And there. Notice there's some silence after there to indicate that I was pretty much done with my line. And that's a tactic I use a lot. I used it a lot, especially in Muse farms, to know when I was about to... So I knew where to skip ahead in the tracking bar to the parts that I needed to cut out, is I just leave it completely silent. So, notice this video, it's a couple of minutes worth of footage, but we're going to be cutting it down a lot to only the key scenes, and it's probably going to be about 15 seconds when we're done. So, cutting out the clips that we need. We just got the roof portion done, and then now this is the outros around this area. Right here is about good. And then delete everything in the middle. So right here, we'll say right about like this. Oh, there's the line. Okay. Okay, now this is all crap. So what we've got here is our 4 scenes that we have written out on Notepad. And, well, oops. So now what I like to do, you don't have to do this, but it makes life easier, is since your video editing program, whatever it is, likely has a grouping option. If I just drag this around right now, it's separate from this track, but I can select it with these two and group them together just by pressing G in Vegas. And now, even if I select just any one of these, it moves the other one. So they all move as a group. So that's always how I'll be moving them together, because the audio and the video are already synchronized with each other. So we've got everything grouped. Let's drag all of them back to the beginning. There we go. And then normally I have the audio on bottom, so that's bothering me. There we go. And this is essentially what a basic version of our video is going to look like. First, find an open plot of land. And there we go. That's all So you could see my voice was a little bit cut off back there. So let's first find an open plot of land. Oh, you know what happened? My screen recorded, the two recordings going on at the same time actually messed with the audio. I don't know how else to describe it. It cut off a little bit. First, find an open. So, anyways, it didn't record my voice the way I wanted it to. So we'll just not worry about that for now. That's something that I said I'm gonna redo the audio for in a separate track, so it's more noticeable for you guys. First, find an open plot of land. And there we go. That's all. Secondly, you want to build all of your walls out of dirt. And if you notice, I'm not following the script exactly. Step 3. Okay, so before I get to number 3, I feel like I should show people just a little bit more on the wall. So we'll extend that a little bit beyond my voice. And if you notice, I'm not following the script exactly. Step 3, to add a little bit of life to it, let's make the roof out of wood. And again, we need to add a little bit more so they can see exactly how to build the roof. It's not even necessary to show how to, finish each section. It's usually fairly implied, like if you say, build the roof out of wood, or build a redstone circuit with 26 repeaters. As long as you have a pattern, you don't need to show the entire thing. So that's why I'll cut out a lot of me doing that in my videos. Okay, here we go. And then that's really... Now, one thing I messed up on is you can hear the rain being cut off, so I wanna... Step 3, to add a little bit of life to it, let's make the roof out of wood. And there you have it, a finished dirt house. And then that's really... And that's pretty much our video right here. The last thing I want to mention is, this still has some fine-tuning, maybe with moving the length of each of these individual tracks, and then, maybe fading some of the audio edges into each other. But what I want to show you is I want to talk about doing some sort of branding, some sort of intro clip. So I have the Minecraft Muse logo, which is somewhere around here. I think it's called Logo 2. There it is. So this is something I include. Let's put another video track here, shall we? Something I include in the beginning of every one of my videos. I like to fade in this little logo. A lot of people like to have intro videos. Famous people I can think of would be Etho. He has the Ethos Lab words coming down and slamming on the ground. And Chimney Swift has some animation or whatever. But I'm bringing those two up for a good reason. You shouldn't have an intrusive introduction. This one is fairly non-intrusive. It takes 1 second. Let's fade in here and put some other fades around here. There we go. So you get the general gist of it. I'm not super fine-tuning this for the camera because I'm probably going to spend 10 or 20 more minutes on this. But it's just based on feeling, how I think a fade should be, or how long I think a clip should last. But I essentially want to have the shortest intro possible. The reason for that being that you don't want to annoy people. Basically, you don't want something to last more than a few seconds if it's a video clip. I choose to have just a graphic because it takes not even 1 second to get to the footage of the tutorial. And Ethos Lab, he has an intro that's a video. I think it's 5 seconds. That's not bad. But, for example, I don't mean anything offensively by this, but Chimney Swift has 2 long of an intro, it bothers me because I skip past it every single time. It's like 30 seconds, so I see no reason to have something that people are just going to skip past one. So I like to have a little graphic I can fade because it's as not intrusive as possible, but it's still branding. So people that are still randomly clicking links on YouTube, if they keep saying your same graphic popping up, they'll realize that they're watching you again, because not everyone is a dedicated YouTuber who looks up for the newest YouTubers to subscribe. You know, they'll just click on a video if they like enough of that person's other videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and fine tune this and then refinish the audio and then show you guys what this finished product looks like. Today we're gonna build a dirt house. First, find an open plot of land. Secondly, you want to build all of your walls out of dirt. Step 3, to add a little bit of life to it, let's make the roof out of wood. And there you have it, a finished dirt house.